Mr. Chancellor, Carleton graduates, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege for me to present Dr. Chad Gaffield, Professor of History, University Research Chair in History and Public Policy Debate, and the former President of the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council, representing all faculty members from across Canada in these important disciplines. Dr. Gaffield holds a doctorate from the Ontario Institute for Studies in Education of the University of Toronto. He is an author of note, and he was also founding chair of the Institute of Canadian Studies at the University of Ottawa, where he was named Researcher of the Year and Professor of the Year, only the second time that a professor has ever been chosen in both areas. He serves on the board of the Canada Foundation for Innovation and is a Fellow of the Royal Society of Canada, where he chairs a working group that successfully established a college for new scholars, a significant outreach which will renew the Royal Society while involving young faculty members. He's also played a pivotal role as principal investigator for the Canadian Century Research Infrastructure Project. Dr. Gaffield has received the Prix de la Francophonie, the J.B. Terrell Historical Medal, and the Antonio Zampoli Prize from the Alliance of Digital Humanities Organizations. He was awarded the Distinguished Academic Award from the Canadian Association of University Teachers and the Queen Elizabeth Golden and Diamond Jubilee Medals. He is highly respected by his colleagues and his students. He's a visionary and an effective leader, and was an effective leader at the Social Sciences and Humanities Federation, and his work there has been absolutely extraordinary. He's worked directly and tirelessly to promote and obtain support for scholarship in these fields, and has linked the study of the past with the digital future. He has increased the prominence and regard for the social sciences and humanities in Canada. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of his impressive accomplishments as a researcher, a visionary leader, and a spokesperson for the social sciences and humanities in Canada, I request that you confer the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, upon Chad Gaffield.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors and upon recommendation of the University Senate, I confer this degree, Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Mr. Chancellor, Chair of the Board, Madame President, graduands, distinguished guests, thank you so much for welcoming me into the community of Carleton University. I am deeply grateful for the warmth and generosity and honored to be joining the class of 2015. What many of you may not know, however, is that in becoming an alumnus, this follows many years as an unofficial member of the Carleton University community. In fact, the arrival of summer used to mean that my wife Pam, who's with us here today, and I came to the campus every morning and just about every afternoon. Of course, we were far from unique. We were part of the parade of parents, many of whom I'm sure are in this field house, who had learned from neighbors and friends that the Carleton summer camps were the place to be. And soon we learned why. The camps seamlessly combined the pursuit of excellence, the value of a strong work ethic, and the importance of enjoying the experience. When I told our children that I would be here today, the memories flooded back. The awe at watching older campers jump off the high tower at the swimming pool, and the ambition to one day jump off themselves. The seemingly all-you-can-eat ice cream counter that balanced full days of learning and laughing, striving and sweating, cultivating confidence, making new friends. The Carleton summer camps help children develop in so many ways. One of the most important lessons involves the value of focusing on the short term, on embracing each day in order to fulfill big dreams. While it seems banal to say that every journey begins with the first step, we often underestimate how important that first step is, and indeed, each one thereafter. As history shows, all supposed overnight successes are in fact years in the making. Breakthroughs may seem sudden, unexpected, and accidental, but where and why they happen inevitably reflects sustained effort and commitment, many small steps before the moment of recognition. Today, the fulfillment of the requirements for your degree means that you have taken a big step forward. But this achievement may also mean that you're going to get asked the question, so what are you going to do with your degree? I think history advises against seeing this question as it is often understood, as being about the long term, maybe even the rest of your life. Rather, the valuable question is about your next step. But even thinking about this question may seem daunting these days. We live in an age of hype, an age of competing claims about how something will suddenly change everything, a new technology, a new product. These days, there is a great deal of hype around the rapid emergence and development of the digital age. I assume that some of you are tweeting right now, and that's great. Now, I do think we live in a profoundly changing time. Recently, the world-renowned scholar Stephen Greenblatt introduced the metaphor of swerve to describe how the individuals and events of a certain chronological period reoriented the path of history. While only historians in the distant future will decide, I do think that we are swerving in the digital age. But swerving for a very good reason. We have so much more evidence, data about people. And this is why we hear so much these days about big data. So much data about human thought, expression, and behavior. Indeed, the unprecedented availability of evidence, both digitized documents and born digital records, is allowing us to pose and more fully grapple with familiar and new questions about the famous, the infamous, the well-known, those long forgotten, about the hidden histories that are key to coming to grips with how the past has produced the present and how the present might produce a better future. But let's not forget the metaphor of taking steps forward. On May 7th, 1964, the Globe and Mail reported on a research project in Toronto, headed by Professor Marshall McLuhan, who would later be recognized as a pioneer of what we now call the digital age. The newspaper reported that McLuhan's project, which was based on data analysis, had awesome implications for society, with the potential to produce a foolproof system for analyzing humans. It could give mankind a surefire method of planning the future and making the world free from large-scale social mistakes. Doesn't this sound like media hype in our era of big data? A much better way to think about the possibilities is to recognize that all meaningful change involves multiple steps rather than a single step, and to focus on each step to ensure meaningful achievement. In other words, history suggests that the importance of committing fully to whatever you choose to do at the time. The past warns against worrying too much and claiming too much about possible subsequent steps. Have appropriate confidence that success in the step you are taking now will lead in predictable and unpredictable ways to future steps forward. Once you have learned how, fully commit to diving off the high tower. Since the years of taking our children to camps each summer, I've had many other occasions to see that dedication and commitment to taking steps forward are in fact defining characteristic of all activities here at Carleton University. I had the privilege of working closely with colleagues here on campus after Dr. Nicole Béjean-Haïk, who is with us here today, asked me to support her in her role as Dean of Graduate Studies and Research at the University of Ottawa. That includes shared responsibility for the many joint Ottawa-Carleton graduate programs. In addition, I had the chance during these years to work with Dr. André Plourde, who's returned to the nation's capital to take up the position of Dean of the Faculty of Public Affairs here at Carleton, was a wonderful good news story that is so well illustrated today by all the graduating students who have benefited from his leadership. In contributing to the joint graduate programs, I learned about another defining characteristic at Carleton: the importance of contributing to and engaging with the larger society as you take steps forward in your life journey. As the Governor General of Canada, His Excellency the Right Honourable David Johnston recently emphasized, people are at the heart of every organization, every new technology, and all significant change. History shows that understanding people is indeed the key for significant change. In your program, you have focused on understanding what people think and do, what motivates us as human beings, what inspires us, what happens if we do horrible things to others and thus to ourselves. And you've gotten a better understanding of why questions about people are so difficult to address, so hard, and why grappling with them is the only way to enhance our quality of life, especially to take advantage of the real potential of the digital age. Recently, in my role at the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council of Canada, and working with colleagues here today, I was again frequently on campus, engaging with students, professors, and community partners. I saw many compelling examples of how Carleton is helping steer society through the swerve of the early 21st century. All this to say, I feel so privileged to be officially welcomed into the Carleton University community and to share this day with all of you. Many congratulations on the big step you are taking today, and all the best to you, your family, your friends, as you continue taking steps forward in the coming years. Thank you so much for letting me join you as a proud member of the graduating class of 2015. Thank you.